If you're a startup looking for funding, there are 5 things that you need to know to improve your pitch and improve the probability of your success. Number 1 is focus on you and your team. A lot of early stage investments are really about the people, so make sure you explain your background, why you. So your experience is really what's going to set you apart. This is often what's called founder market fit. This is how good you are as a founder to fit into the problem and why you have an unfair advantage to solve that particular problem. When you have a view of the world that is different from everyone else, that gives you an unfair advantage, and that's certainly what investors are looking for. Number 2 is validation. What is the thing that you have done to validate and de-risk your business? Oftentimes, investors are looking for a way to understand your particular problem and solution, and usually this is called traction. Traction is an example of validation, but really investors are looking to understand that you have validated that your problem and your solution, your product, your company is a viable business. If you've talked to hundreds of customers, that can be a form of validation. If you've built a prototype, that can be a great form of validation. Or if you've gotten others in the industry to believe in you, that is another good form of validation. Number 3, make sure your slides tell a story. When I'm flipping through material, I want to make sure that I can get it pretty quickly. If you're not sure if your deck is really understandable, send it to your mom, send it to a family friend, send it to someone who is not in the startup ecosystem. If they can understand your startup and explain it back to you, that's a good filter. Oftentimes, founders, especially in a particular industry, will include a lot of jargon around their startup and their business, and that makes it really difficult to understand. When you can send it to a mom and a friend and they can understand, even though they don't have that jargon of the industry, that really shows that your deck, your material, your information is really communicating. Number 5, last and not least, follow up. Investors invest in lines, not dots. This is really about trajectory and relationships. When you are reaching out to a potential investor, you're having a conversation with a potential customer, it's really about following up. And so don't expect that you will necessarily get an answer on the first reply. I know this is frustrating, but you have to understand that there are about 4 to 5 million businesses formed every single year, and only about 20,000 of them ever get VC funding. That's a tiny percentage. That's 0.5%. So if you're getting frustrated, just to understand it's about traction over time. So it's not just that one data point, you reaching out and saying, hey, I'm doing something. It's investors building relationships with you and seeing the traction that you have over time. And again, VC funding isn't for every single company. Sometimes the best progress you can make on your business is actually focusing on your business. Then you have a much better story to tell in terms of your traction and the validation and the progress you've actually made. So I hope that helps you in putting together the pitch and your story, helping convey the traction and momentum that you're having. And again, focus on your expertise and your team's expertise to give you an unfair advantage. I'm Raiz, talking about startups, entrepreneurship, design, and technology. See you in the next one.